It's time for the Breakaway, presented by Frontier Communications.
Thank you, Jake. Well, Liam, you mentioned to Ross earlier that when you found out you were named an All-Star, you were hanging curtains for your kids.
Yeah.
So how often do they get to come over to Portland?
Yeah, so they get here twice a year, once in Easter for about 10 days, 11 days, and then obviously come in the summer for about a month. Just depends on obviously school and holidays that they get back at home. But yeah, it's obviously nice to get them out here, and you know, they enjoy coming, which is always a positive.
So Luca's the older one,
Luca's
son,
11,
and
yeah.
Eva's
8, yeah.
Is it difficult to be away? Is it difficult to be
far? Yeah, it's really difficult. You know, when I first decided to come, you know, I had to sit them down and talk them through it. I don't think they understood too much then, but I think they're starting to understand more, which is obviously getting harder, obviously. Right. And, you know, they love coming over here. You know, it's just tough to see them leave. Obviously, you get into a routine of, you know, me being here, and then they suddenly come here and you get into a different routine, and they leave again. So, you know, it's a special place to be, and one I'd never change, but obviously it's difficult with the kids.
And how do you get through those times because I'm sure you get a little homesick when they go back and you miss them, and you're all of a sudden back to being just Liam here.
Yeah.
How do you manage it?
It is difficult. I think, you know, I just try and, you know, compartmentalise it. I think, you know, I try and play a lot of golf and try and enjoy myself on the lake, and try not to find myself sitting in the house and sitting there and dwelling on things. I think that's probably the best way I've coped with it over the years. You know, FaceTime's obviously great, and with Skype and everything, sometimes makes it a little bit harder, obviously coming off FaceTime. But you know, it's all for them, and you know, I'm just glad they enjoy it when they come here as well.
They absolutely love it. I've seen them out at the training facility. They come out with you, and Luca is a star out there in the soccer field, doing his own thing. Eva's getting you water. She's hanging out with the dogs there.
Right, yeah, she does.
But Luca seems to really love soccer. Is this what he wants to do too? Or?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I think a couple of years ago he wasn't too into it, but I think the last 2.5 years he certainly just picked it up again. I think before was probably you know, a bit too much, obviously watching every single week and training and stuff like that, but he's suddenly come into his own and starts to, you know, he's always out there. He would come every day if I let him. You know, I can't have him come out every day, but he loves just coming out there and just sitting in the change room listening to the boys. I used to do it with my old man, you know, when he used to play vets football and stuff. So it's good that Luca comes out, and you know, Eva coming out as well. It's obviously enjoyable. Right. You know, she doesn't understand that she can't be in the changing room and come into stuff like that, but she's slowly learning. So she stays out with the dogs, and you know, she just enjoys just being there and being around, really.
So your dad, you would go with your dad to, where was he playing?
So we'd play like on a Saturday afternoon for like vets football, so that was over 35s, and I used to go there and watch him and go in the changing room and sit there and listen to their talk and, you know, swearing and taking the mickey out of each other and stuff like that. So, you know, you get used to football like that, and same way Luca is, you know, you get used to it being around grown men and listening to what they're talking about and enjoying it. And, you know, I did that back home with my friends and their dads when they used to play.
Did your brother, you have two brothers, you're the youngest, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Would they go with your dad too, or was this just your thing?
Sometimes they'd be playing themselves. Obviously, they'd be playing themselves. You know, my old man would go and drop them, then we'd go to his game, or you know, they'd probably finish by that time. And, you know, sometimes they would come, but, you know, me and my pal would probably go along and watch him and, you know, join in and disappear for an hour and then come back and play football all afternoon. So it was just a way of growing up, really.
Parenting style. Are you similar to how your dad was with you and your brothers and your mom? Like, who did you take more?
I think I took a bit of both. Probably my old man. Probably I think he's more of a quiet, erupting type. You know, you know, if you push him too far, it will soon let you know. You know, probably that's the way I've probably gone with my kids. You know, don't like to shout and holler a lot, but they certainly know if they've done wrong. That's for sure.
Are there any times when you're with, I'm going to say Luca just because he plays soccer and is a boy like you were, where you think to yourself, oh my God, I've turned into my dad, like I'm acting like my father?
Sometimes I think, you know, yeah, when I'm encouraging him and watching him play, and, you know, obviously you tend to pick out the bad moments in what they're doing and try and help him with that. And, you know, my dad was always encouraging, which I am with Luca, but you seem to pick that out and you scrutinise them a little bit more. You know, you want him to do so well. And, you know, Luca's turned into a really good player, and it's difficult for me not to be there all the time when he's playing on the weekends, but certainly when he's here, you know, I try and help him as much as possible.
Lastly, one thing I've seen that you post on Instagram a lot, you guys call yourself the Griswolds from National Lampoon's Vacation, which I love. When did that begin?
That's the old man.
He's Clark.
Anything that could go wrong with him will go wrong. Any type of trip, you'll be late, you'll forget it. When they first come over in the summer, I tried to hire the car that they had in the National Lampoon's.
You should have gotten the station wagon.
So I tried to get that. Actually, I spoke to Spenny about getting it. He couldn't actually get it. I wanted it to turn up and get my old man in it, but yeah, it's Chief Griswell. That's what we call him. We have a Griswell award at home. So yeah, it all goes round.
Well, I hope you didn't pick up that trait from him. That's it. The rest you didn't do.
Definitely not. No.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Timbers in 30, Liam, and good luck this weekend in Seattle.
Thank you.